Welcome back to Rare Replays. So let's check out
Part
some
two.
more games. Yes.
Alright then.
So now we have Night Lore. Originally released in 1984.
Oh, wait, hold on. I noticed the description. Does that document what's going on story? Oh, there we are. Let's see. Lower Castle and... Excuse me, Wade, they're blocking my view.
I can't see the
It's a bit
thing.
intrusive.
Come on.
Well, Jova, somewhat of a synopsis of what the premise is. But
Ah,
it doesn't really teach you how to play the game.
there
Sorry.
you go. So you're apparently
That's what-
seeking out the...
There you go. See,
ingredient-
I'm trying to use the game help. No, did you notice that thing with the game help? Maybe that would accidentally. Well, okay. Waiting.
So,
Waiting. Oh, and yeah, you see. Basically, in order to access game help, you have to go to the Xbox servers. It's online. The problem is that the Xbox One is really slow. So I was like, you know what? No, fuck it. I'm not gonna waste 5 minutes of our time in this.
speaking of slow, have you
Reach
guys heard about how much Nuts and Bolts runs slower on Xbox One?
Yeah, Pedro just showed me.
Oh
Yeah.
God, Microsoft. You know,
I'll record that on the 360.
I swear to God, I almost feel sorry for Microsoft at this point. I mean, I go, okay,
Oh, you think that's bad, Joe? You think that's bad, Jova? Alan Wake is basically unplayable on the Xbox One.
how did they
I'll
do?
have to No, it's
That
because
was
no,
exactly.
no. It's not because of the frame rate. It's because the lighting is so dark you can barely see anything.
There is Aliens vs Predator Requiem. Though.
Yeah.
No. See, here's the
like
thing, though, Dwibs. They ruined that in a port, whereas Aliens was its own thing. How
Yeah,
do you
as a-
screw up the lighting in
yeah.
a port? Not even Sonic Genesis
it's the-
screwed up the lighting.
The best thing about the Xbox One right now is the backward compatibility, and even that is a mixed bag.
See, the Xbox One may have had a bit of a chance back when the Wii U was kind of not doing as great as we all thought it was. And even then, the Wii U was starting to pick up steam. But now with the Nintendo Switch taking the world by storm, Microsoft have their work cut out for them. And from what I've heard and seen, the Scorpio ain't exactly doing much to help.
Well, it's like I said before. Okay, they have a really powerful console, the Scorpio. Now, if they have to get to E3 and show off some amazing exclusives, otherwise they're fucked.
Getting rid of Scalebound, as risky as that may have been,
Yeah,
that was
actually,
still
yeah,
a dumb
but-
move. But
going
yeah,
back
let's
to
talk
this,
about this
though.
Exos game. From what I
But-
gleaned of
Yeah,
the...
it's a day and night cycle and you transform into
A werewolf.
Yeah.
Okay,
A werewolf.
from what I gleaned off of the description, apparently you're trying to search for the ingredients to cure your werewolf curse in the castle.
Yeah.
So,
Basically.
wait, this is Sonic
I
Unleashed.
have no idea what the hell to do here. Seriously, I can't go around because
Oh,
there's
I
no
get...
invisible wall there.
I'm
I have
guessing...
no idea what the hell I'm supposed to do here.
I'm guessing you're supposed to wait until you become a werewolf, and then you can climb up the walls.
You see, Dwebs, back in the 80s, video games made no sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's like in Action 52, where you're in the cave and you can't get past that one bit.
Yeah.
ah.
So my guess
Yeah,
is like when you
game where
become a
The game where
werewolf...
if you touch mushrooms, you spin around like a bowling pin and you die.
So I'm guessing...
Yeah, this sparkly thing
It
keeps
blocks too.
chasing me. Why? What the fuck is this thing even?
No, sparkle
Uh,
stuff. I
manual?
want
Okay.
Well, Joe, like I said, there is a game help that you can consult on the Rare Replay, but like I said, I'm not gonna waste you guys with 5 minutes of reading because each page takes a bit to load because
Hey.
the Xbox One is a piece of crap.
Hey, Pedro.
What?
You know how Sonic Mega Collection pretty much just has the manual for each game when you press the pause or select button? Why can't this game have that?
Well, remember, Joe, but this is an arcade game. It never had a manual
Why don't they make a manual?
because that would require effort and money.
Actually, remember one of the Sega collection where they played on, well, it was only one on the PSP, that had both the manuals and actually interesting trivias about each game.
Okay. Well, I mean,
They could have just dropped some. Don't even make a manual. Just make a little thing saying how to play, and then you have some walls of text explaining.
don't
I
they
mean,
give that to you technically? I mean, go outside the game when you're selecting, or was that
No,
something else?
no. Like I said, the only way to get help on how these games are played, and then
How are
how
you
to.
supposed to get past this bit?
I don't know, dude.
Anyway.
I'm basically just winging it.
Bubbles!
So what you're saying, Pedro, is that you need internet connection in order to actually get the instructions for each game.
Yes.
Well, in that case, why don't I just...
But Java, don't you know, this is the Xbox One. You've got to be always online.
In that case, why don't we just use the internet as opposed to actually having to access it for a game?
Like I said, I wouldn't mind checking the online guide if it was at least... Because usually I do it when I'm playing. The problem is that, again, like I said, the Xbox One is slow, like you guys saw. Like, just to look... Like, it was even browsing and shit. And then, oh, this is going to take a while. I'm not going to waste the guy's time with this. So I just figured, you know, fuck it.
Yeah,
Like, this should have been... The game help should have been in the fucking disc, not as an online thing that you had to access.
Again, Sonic Mega Collection did that just fine. Why can't you? Game originally with manual or not?
It makes no sense. It's stupid.
Gunfright.
Okay, let's see. Hunt down a band of notorious outlaws and bring them to justice.
Basically, here's the basic. Here's how that translates out to the actual game. You see things, you shoot them. There you go.
Well, let's see if this is actually keen, I guess.
Yeah. This game is much more self-explanatory than the previous one, fortunately.
Weird that they actually bothered to make a remix for each of these.
Why is he
games.
shooting money? Don't you want that?
He doesn't need it.
Is this the actual game or is this just a bonus round?
There you go.
Oh, I guess it was.
He was up on his round, yes.
Buffalo Bill.
You
So
know,
yeah, you can
I
tell
noticed...
this is using the same engine as the previous game.
Yeah, I noticed actually. It's the same guy too.
What?
What?
If a lady hits me, I die.
What? So, are you supposed to shoot the ladies too?
Yes.
Okay.
Anita is gonna be so pissed.
So what's the aim of this game then? You have to shoot people and collect their bounties?
So
Yes.
I guess everyone's a bad guy.
The big objective is right there on the left. I have to find Buffalo Bill and get my $350 of reward. That's not exactly that big. Really? That's your reward?
Yeah,
I mean,
back in the day that was big.
Mm.
I mean, I guess in the Old West.
No, lady, no!
And we turned into a pair of hats for some reason.
It's a good thing I have an infinite lives cheat.
By the way, Pedro, when are we doing... I'm going to assume Banjo-Kazooie and Conker's Bad Fur Day and the like are going to be their own LPs.
Obviously.
Wait, is Banjo-Kazooie even on this?
Yeah,
Yes,
it
it
is,
is.
Java.
Yeah.
We saw it.
What
in the
about
beginning.
Tui?
It is too.
It is too. Specifically, it's the 360 remasters, obviously.
Is Tui... Is that the
Wait.
one that... Is that the one that doesn't run like at 10 frames per second?
Granted, I haven't played the 64 version in a while, but I remember the frame rate on the 4 being
Yeah,
fine.
I actually played it to a friend's house, both of them, and they're fine.
That's weird. So for
It's
Banjo...
not Symbol who has problems with.
No, but the 360 versions are, and by extension, the Xbox One versions, which basically the Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie are playable on the Xbox One via the Xbox 360 backwards compatibility thingy, and they run just as well, except with the Xbox One being slightly better because the Xbox One emulations have V-Sync, whereas the 360 originals don't have V-Syncs, so they look slightly better with no screen tearing. So yeah, we'll be checking out Banjo-Kazooie and Tui and Conquer via Xbox One.
Is that Buffalo Bill hopping up and down like that?
I don't know. I don't know where Buffalo Bill is. I don't find him because every single enemy looks the same. I don't really know.
Wait, hold on, wait.
Maybe that's the cheat. I got it. Maybe that's the cheat.
Any other bullets.
He looks so simple. He decides to blend in with the rest.
Wait a minute,
If it-
hold on. Those mooks
Before
hop...
we get to Banjo-Kazooie, however, Dwayne, we have to first do Battletoads.
Battletoads, yeah.
Both the NES and the arcade versions, because the arcade version is significantly different.
Are they both on
Yeah.
this disc?
Yes, they are.
Ah,
In fact, the arcade version is the arcade version on the Xbox One is literally the first time it's being re-released outside of the original arcade cabinet.
that's cool.
So it's weird,
I'm
though.
assuming Rare made the arcade.
Like for example, Killer Instinct. The original one was an arcade, and the N64 was a port with some changes to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
There was even a Game Boy Color version, but it was terrible.
one thing strikes me as odd in this rare replay collection.
What?
So they have the 360 remasters for Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie, yet for Conker's Bad Fur Day, it's the N64 version.
Well, remember, Joe, but the original Conker was never remastered or re-released before this game.
The Live and Reloaded thing they did for the Xbox was not well received.
Oh, no. I hated it. Well, okay, it looked good.
Slalom.
Okay. It looked good, but it censored out the wrong things.
And one of the big appeals of that game was the swearing.
Like, seriously, it was Nintendo's raunchiest game, and yet Xbox was the one who decided, oh no, we need to dumb it down some.
Slalom.
Alright, so Slalom, you'll see, hold on. Slalom is a skiing game.
Mr. Nasty.
Mount Nasty, actually. Mount Nasty. Ooh, nasty.
We
The
like
nasties!
We're like in Speed Racer now.
Oh, but there will
Basically, this game is all about skiing. Just keep dodging objects and shit.
Wait,
anyway,
no,
Joe, what I was saying was the thing. The thing is, Jova. Considering they obviously with the Live and Reloaded remake, they just went with a flawless emulation of the original, which is fine by me. Honestly,
I get that. It's just like, well, if only they would have done something in the style of Live and Reloaded, but just not censored.
I just wish Rare Replay was on PC.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they gotta have some exclusives.
Maybe at some point, Microsoft will get around to putting it on PC, since they love putting their stuff on PC nowadays.
Well, it makes sense. PC is, well, theirs.
PC was what helped create Microsoft.
Yep. What else was I was gonna say? But yeah, Mount Nasty. Oh, but there will be a time when the nasty shall strike, and it shall take a boy of unrivaled strength and courage.
I'm crying.
What the actual shit?
It looks like he's crying.
Rare, is there something you're trying to tell me here?
Hey, do you observe from over there? What does this mean?
This was made in Leicester for Leicestershire, and so basically they're saying that the people of Leicestershire are
Bad skiers?
bad skiers and can't decide whether to be happy or sad.
Sad. All right. Aside from that, basically it's like this with when it comes to the games, Jova. Aside from Conker, aside from the Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie 360 remaster. Oh yeah, also the Perfect Dark Xbox 360 remaster was also put on Rare Replay, and by extension the Xbox One backwards compatibility thingy. Basically, every single 360 game that's on the collection, it's actually just a backwards compatibility version. But basically, to give an idea, you can buy Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie on their own via Xbox Live on the Xbox One. However, if you put the Rare Replay disc, it will just automatically download it for you, so you don't need to buy it.
So you're saying that most of these are just digital, disc or not?
Well, yes. Well, it makes sense considering that's the easiest way to get the games on there. Especially considering the 360 games. I mean, Rare was never behind the backwards compatibility thing, and since they were making a compilation, they got to work with the Xbox 360 backwards compatibility engineers to make sure they put Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts and other stuff like here. It makes sense to me, honestly.
Yeah, I get that. It's just like, well, don't make it just don't make it that the disc literally unlocks digital stuff, because, well, we're still a bit uncomfortable with the whole old digital only thing.
Oh, that. Yeah, I understand it.
Out of the free companies, Microsoft seems to love showing that the most still.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Jova, like they've said, it's literally $30 for 30 games, so it's a pretty darn deal. You're basically paying $1 per game.
Oh, it's good. It's just like, well, don't be lying when you say here's a disc, it's actual disc content, and have it just turn out to be digital. I hate when companies do that.
Well, to be fair, the Xbox 360 games are the only ones that are unlocked digitally. The rest is in the actual disc. I mean, Conquer is on the disc. Grab by the Ghoulies is on the disc. All of the pre.
The only one who's not there, I think it's GoldenEye.
Well, yeah, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Remember, Jova, GoldenEye is a fucking copyright clusterfuck. But it has to be United Artists. Sorry, who owns 007 again?
MGM.
That's your MGM. It has to be basically, Job, in order for that game to be finally re-released, there has to be a mutual understanding between MGM. Really hard to get a game out of the N64 limbo.
Was it good?
Oh, it was amazing back in the day. Well, obviously it aged pretty badly, but for the time, and here's the thing. See, because Rare remastered 60 Perfect Dark, which is basically just GoldenEye with original characters. And for the remaster, they implemented a new control scheme that actually is more in tune with modern first-person shooters. And so if we got something like that for GoldenEye, I would get it fucking day one, because especially considering Perfect Dark Remastered got an online multiplayer, I would fucking love if we could got a remaster that game with online multiplayer. Jesus Christ, it would be so awesome.
But then one was to play Odd Job and Troll the Hours.
Well, yeah, obviously, but because me and my friends played a shit ton of GoldenEye on the 64 back in the day. We would love to play that again.
You know, it's nice that they included all these remakes.
You also say, but actually, might as well tell that story since we're on the topic. First, should I say? So yeah, RC Pro AM. This, as you can probably already tell, audience, from the previous game and now this one. Now we're in the NES era of Rare. And this was one of their first NES games, RC Pro AM.
Rare Coiner Inc.
Super sticky tires, turbo acceleration.
Basically, it's a racing game, a basic racing game. It's self-explanatory.
He plays a
Oh
toy
god, it
car.
seems to be controlled like Roger Rabbit on the NES.
Yes. Remember, Teo, same developer.
Oh.
Anyway, funny story, Jova, since you brought that up. Believe it or not, aside from remastering Perfect Dark, Rare actually did have ready for the release on the Xbox 360 GoldenEye 007 remaster, and
Really?
just like the Perfect Dark one, it was going to have online multiplayer, rock solid 60 frames per second, all that good stuff. Here's the problem: MGM was done with it, Microsoft was done with it. There were even the problem is that, of course, Nintendo obviously Nintendo didn't want the game released on Xbox 360. Apparently, there was also some apparently, granted, this is just from what I've seen on the net. I don't have any proper evidence, but from what I've seen on the internet, apparently Microsoft did want to make a mutual agreement with Nintendo, where okay, we'll release it on the Xbox 360, but you guys also get to release it on your console. How about that? But Nintendo didn't want it. It was either all for them or nothing.
That sounds like Nintendo back then.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, Nintendo robbed me of remaster of one of my favorite games back in the day. Thanks, Nintendo. Thanks.
I'm just thinking, Pedro, you got that Wii 007 game.
I mean, that was fine.
It was fine, but the problem is that it was a complete misrepresentation because it had nothing to do with the original. And they even replaced Pierce Brosnan with Daniel Craig. It was not the original game in any way, shape, or form.
It makes sense. By that point, it was 2010.
I get that, I get that, Twibs, but they advertised it as a remake of the original Nintendo 64 classic, and it was not. It was more like a reimagining that changed way too much for it to be a proper remake.
It was based more on the film than the last game.
Well, true, I get that, Twibs, but again, they advertised it as a remake and used the fact that, oh, remember back in the N64 and shit, they used basically a clear attempt at cashing in on people's nostalgia, even though it's not a proper remake or remaster. Anyway, now let's check out a behind-the-scenes video for some featurettes.
Okay.
So, guys, have you ever wondered what makes a rare game?
Googly eyes.
They make a game.
Very good, Jova. That's actually one of their answers as well.
Hey, Jova. Hey, no, Pedro, I got it. What makes a rare game? They only make 3,000 copies of it, and then it's rare.
All right. Well, so what makes a rare game?
When people ask what makes a rare game or how you can recognize a rare game, I think you could do the cheap option. Go, oh, it's a googly eyes.
Very good, Jova.
Cheap option.
Googly eyes, big googly eyes on everything.
But
What is their fetish with that?
I don't think you can actually spot a rare game.
Yeah,
I
for example.
don't see any googly eyes on
Killer
CFEs, though.
Instinct.
because all the
Well, CFEs, Pedro, isn't that kind of, you know,
Yeah.
not rare?
Yeah, the exciting exciting Kinect.
Oh, hi, nuts and bolts.
Even though Kinect Sports is not on this collection.
Is nuts and bolts in this collection too?
Yeah, yes, it is. It's the very last game of the collection.
Yay! Ain't that a great way to end off a history lesson?
There we go.
But hey, it could be worse. You could make a game with a Sonic game with all the Sonic's GBA games and have that and the Sonic Genesis.
Especially considering, Jova, like you said, Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts runs like shit on the Xbox One. Which is sad, confusing though, because the Viva Pinata backwards compatibility ports run actually even better than on the Xbox 360.
Question: the version of Nuts and Bolts, does that come on the disc or is that also digital?
It's 360 game, so yeah, digital.
That's part of the reason why I'm also down about them being digital, because yeah, you're stuck with bad ports in the case of Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll give Nuts and Bolts.
Well, Jova, you can play Nuts and Bolts on the Xbox One by using your original 360 disc. But of course, like I said, the way the backwards compatibility works is it recognizes the disc and then downloads the digital copy of it.
So either way, you're stuck with a digital copy, despite having a disc.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah, Greg Mails, this guy right here, Greg Mails, one of the lead designers from, say, Banjo-Kazooie and stuff like that. He's pretty much the last Golden Age guy still at Rare, at least the last major guy, the last major designer guy.
Well, Robin Beanland's still there.
Well, okay. In terms of developers, not aside from composers, like because most of the others are Platonic games now. Like, just to give you an idea, there's a couple people you can see in these interviews of this game. It's a cameo, Elements of Power. It's one of the games they made for the it was the first game they made for the 360. It's actually one of the better Microsoft Rare games, actually. Hey, Grant, how you doing? But yeah, like I was saying, fun fact: some of the people who actually get interviewed in these videos in this collection are actually no longer at Rare. So some of them actually like, for example, I don't think he's in this video, but the guy who does the Banjo-Kazooie voices, I forgot his name, and who was also the creative director of Yooka-Laylee. He is in a couple of these interviews, but right after Rare Replay, he left the company. This guy right here, he's no longer at Rare, by the way. He's now at Platonic. He's the creator of Battletoads, by the way.
Were they like under contract that they needed to stay until they got that interview?
No, Joe. I saw a video detailing that. He literally left right after finishing Rare Replay.
I'm wondering if they were under contract that they needed to stick around until.
There you go, Dwebs. There's Battletoads Arcade. As you can see, it's quite different from the NES version.
But hey, guys, I'm sure Yooka-Laylee will turn out just fine.
I honestly, it turned out just fine to me, but whatever.
It didn't turn out
Well,
bad.
to like half of people. The other half are kind of like, yeah.
Again, Yooka-Laylee is a perfectly good game. The only issue is that it's a game that didn't learn to evolve properly, is all. Which, again...
God, 11 reloaded, no!
It literally just delivered what exactly was advertised.
So hey,
Yep.
Pedro,
More or less. What the hell is that?
What the...
but hey,
I got...
Great Danger, technically, Live and Reloaded is in this game.
Well, I'll go into more detail when we get to the play when I record the ukulele, but I'll just say this: it was exactly what I wanted—an N64 platformer, warts and all, and I'm fine with that.
Anyway, so why did wait, they mentioned Live and Reloaded, but that's not in this. What did you... Oh, that's what you meant, Dwebs.
The 11 Reloaded got shown in the footage for some reason, even the 11 Reloaded is not in this collection, thank God.
Again, how hard could it be to just have Live and Reloaded, but uncensored?
Well, they would have to remake the whole thing, because remember, like, they never made it was never originally uncensored. It's not like it was originally uncensored, and then Microsoft put a censor ban on it. It was always censored right from the get-go.
Censors were audio-wise, but good point. There was at least one visual censor.
Honestly, and considering the Live and Reloaded remake didn't even have Chris Saver involved, aka the creator of Conker, honestly, I'd rather have the actual original masterpiece from the creator himself, honestly.
I don't blame you. I'm just saying, poor Conker needs a proper remake or something.
Keep dreaming, Nova.
Anyway, see you for the next part.
See ya.
See ya.